Hello and welcome to another try and fly, in this case a revisited try and fly, and we are looking again at the Magknight Boeing 787, which has been updated in January. At the current rate we are getting, apparently we're getting major updates every 6 or so months, like the last one was mid-2019. And I had my last try and fly sometime last year with the previous version, I think. And yeah, it wasn't the worst aircraft I ever had, although I wasn't overly impressed with many things. But all in all, the project, yeah, it is developing, albeit slowly. So they started with an initial version, then we had to pay money to get to this Magknight version here. And yeah, a good year and a half or so later, we are now at 1.4. I don't use this aircraft because up to now it wasn't really, yeah, I don't know, I just have other aircraft that are, let's say, better equipped, but it is work in progress, and it was work in progress last year, so my overall impression wasn't that bad. It was actually reasonably okay. You pay less than a flight factor Boeing, but you cannot, at the moment at least, and who knows if we ever will see kind of flight factor-ish professional level ever out of this aircraft. Not sure if that's even the goal, but it has improved actually. So I updated the aircraft with the skunk updater, what's that thing called? That skunk crafter, or hang on. It's called Skunkcraft's updater. And it brought it from 1.3 to 1.4.4 or 4.4 or something like that. So we are pretty much at the current version, and I had a very quick browse yesterday and I kind of liked what I saw, so I'm going to do another try and fly. When it comes to the modeling, I'm not sure if there has been that much change to it. I just simply can't tell you. Yeah, so it looks reasonably okay. I've chosen now the blank livery, but just for testing purpose, what we could do is we could actually pick one of the other ones. Let's see. Let's try Air Canada. Okay, there are no preview pictures. Did I not confirm this? Air Canada. Okay, so Air Canada doesn't work. All right, let's try load the Polish. Oh, hang on. Guys, I think we need to unpause the simulator. Probably. Not sure what's wrong with the... What I'm not sure now is if these liveries come with the with the aircraft, or if those are downloaded. I'm a bit confused now, because it could be that they have changed the way the textures are used, but it is a bit odd that I would only have the white default. That's, by the way, the only one that has a preview picture, so it could well be that these are downloaded and they might not be compatible anymore with the aircraft. Factory white. Yeah, the default is the only one with a picture, but that's the one where the preview is in the main folder of the aircraft. I'm a little bit surprised about that. I didn't realize that. I need to figure this out. I mean, it's it will not stop us from flying the aircraft, but that is odd. I didn't really have that. I couldn't find any ground handling, jar design ground handling profiles yet. Somehow nobody has done one. I would if I would have the time, but it's to me this is actually quite a complicated process, and it takes time to create one. Maybe eventually I will, if I use this aircraft more often, I might actually get myself to make one. This is the SAM. Sam, don't crash on me. Yeah. So we have 2 doors. I'm in manual mode, so let's switch to automatic, and you can see that it actually finds the doors quite nicely. We are here in Munich, short final design. I'm actually at a different gate, and that was more by accident, but then I decided not to move to 185. So we're gonna have some more taxiing to be done, but that's okay. Right. Yeah. Don't ask me what's wrong there. I have no idea. Let's get into the cockpit. So this is the cockpit, and it is reasonably okay. It's it depends a little bit from where you look at it. If you are close to these wishy-washy yeah, things, yeah, it doesn't look that great. When you look at it, for example, here, so the panels are reasonably okay. You can see that they're drawn, but yeah, they give an okay impression when you look at them. And also here the upper panel, where things are actually looking not bad is when it's dark. I'm quickly going to first of all, I'm going to activate the power. And by the way, there is this thing here. This is I got it working. Actually, the last time it didn't work for me, the previous version. There were some issues, probably with the Java, although I have done, I mean, I'm a programmer, so I know how to install Java. But for some reason it didn't work. I have no idea why. With this aircraft, now with this version, there is this runtime, Java runtime. I installed it, although that would be another runtime. And yeah, but it's okay. All the other things that I need to do with Java in the simulator still work, so we're fine, apparently. And I had some issues with all this performance stuff. Yeah, we shall see if that works today. It does actually. So I've given it a very quick test, and it actually does work. So what you can do here is you can activate the ground power. I think that one of them is an air unit, and that here is the pushback. So we wouldn't do that right now, but it uses better pushback. It somehow is built in or something like that. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, it definitely makes sense to integrate better pushback in an aircraft, definitely. And not create your own homebrew pushback solution, which usually are not as nice as better pushback. All right. So we have now external power. So let's go back up here, and I'm going to activate it. You need to, oh no, hang on, not APU. We need to, do we need to do anything? It didn't sound like it did do much, but we do have power now. Okay, so we're fine. You can already see the displays. So what I wanted to show you is, let me very quickly change the time to a little bit earlier, like 4 o'clock. Don't forget, we are in an HDR environment. We have lights from short final design. They actually lighten up the cockpit. You have a lot of options to turn on and off lights. Okay, so from a lighting point of view, it's actually done very well. I really, really like it. It really looks good. And you have all these switches here. This is the storm light, and that's what I meant with it actually looks in the dark. It looks actually quite good. That's also because you don't see so much of the drawn things, okay, of the artificial stuff. And so in the dark, this actually makes quite a good, for me at least, it makes quite a good impression. In daylight, it's an okay cockpit. It's crispy clear. There is no wishy-washy writing or displays that are kind of fuzzy or anything like that. It's actually looking good. There are reflections, but you can turn them off. If you know me, I don't like reflections. I have enough problems reading things here in the simulator. Yeah, and these are no exceptions, because on normal screens, these are really difficult for me to read. Yeah, and things like that are difficult to read. And if you have reflections, it gets even more fuzzy, and I just don't see the point. Okay, but you can turn them on. We're going to have a look at it, at the settings in a moment. Right, so that's the impression here in the dark. We're going to increase the time a bit later, but I think it's quite okay. So it's a reasonable cockpit, and possibly they are going to improve on some areas maybe later, but I guess everything that we need to have is there, and it's reasonably well done. So I can't really fault them on the cockpit. And a lot of the switches are coded. Not everything, okay, oops. Yeah, the caught up mouse is, I have a new mouse, so it's not the mouse anymore. It's a spanky brand new mouse. No, there is some issue in, it started I think sometime 1140 X-Plane or so, where the mouse gets caught a lot. Yeah, it depends a little bit on the aircraft, but for some reason the mice tend to kind of stick in this move mode, and then yeah, you've just seen it. It's not that bad, but yeah, I got used to it now. So a lot of switches are actually coded. Yeah, the map lights are coded. These switches, not sure if all of them really do a lot of things. It could well be that some of them are fake, but still it's a nice touch that you can click on them and switch them, even if they don't do things at the moment. You never know. Maybe they put something behind those switches eventually. Right. Let's look at the displays. They are also relatively, yeah, they look pretty realistic. Not all options are available. Again, you see here you can switch between electric. The statistics page, there's hydraulics and APU, oxygen. Then the electric page, you got the status of all your generators. This is the forward left external power. There's the APU generators, and these are the engine generators, which are obviously off at the moment, and then the buses, the state of the buses. That's the hydraulic system. The reservoirs seem to be full. I think that's the reservoirs, yeah. 1.0 probably means they're full, I'm guessing here. Okay, I'm not an expert in 787 displays. So here's the fuel, the cross feed. We have 33.4 tons of fuel on board. We definitely don't need that for our short round. Then this is not working. Air is not yet implemented, although you can click it. Doors, the door page, and by the way, this is where you open the door. So we have already one door open. That was done by Sam. Sam automatically opened it. If I click on it, I can open the other door. This is the refuel. I'm not sure if something happens, but yeah, it hasn't really changed. So yeah, not sure if that's just display. Then we have the entry. I'm just opening everything I can click. Problem seems to be that I can't open the cargo doors for whatever reason. Now I'm not sure if that is something that's to come. I would say it should come eventually, because not having cargo doors, I mean, you have so many doors, you don't do the cargo doors really now. So I'm hoping that eventually they will put that in, but as it is, if you are a small company making such a relatively big project, and I can see that things have progressed quite a bit already. The moment I opened it up, I saw the difference, and I still remember what I had before. I wasn't that overly impressed by it. Was okay, but it was nothing that really knocked me off my chair. It's not that it knocks me off my chair now, but it's yeah, it's actually, it's not bad. As I say, I had a quick browse through and I was pretty okay with it. So I can really see things have developed. They are working on it. It takes time, as it always does, and I can see that there is definitely development here, and that's good. For me, that's good. And we will see how well it actually behaves. If I remember my last flight correctly, it wasn't overly great when it came to the flight management, avionics, and so on. I think I had some issues with this. I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. It's already many months ago. And I have a lot of videos, so I can't always remember everything. There is an X texture extractor. I can't remember if I did that myself or if that's provided. I couldn't actually tell you, but probably is not provided because maybe someone has done it for the latest version of X texture extractor, which was updated sometime towards the end of last year. So could be, or maybe it was just me. It's also possible. So I have all these displays as external windows, which is good, because it means that I can read them actually much better, because I blow them up accordingly. For example, I have here the PFD on its own, and it's much better readable like this for me than it is staring at in the virtual cockpit from afar at it. But that's not a Magknight problem. This is just like that in the simulator. It's a problem. I'm not the youngest, so I need glasses, and so generally it is harder for me to read all these fiddly little smally things here. Yeah, so I usually need to zoom in. But with the external windows that I do with texture extractor, it's much better, much better. All right. So, what else? Oh yeah, there is a cabin, indeed. Yes. So, yeah, it's a cabin. It's okay. It's fine. I mean, yeah, I've seen better ones, but it looks a little bit sterile. But then again, I never sit in the cabin. So I'm actually fine with that. It's better than if there would be nothing here, so I can't really complain. It looks a bit sterile and a bit kind of repeated, but I've seen far worse actually. I've seen far worse modeled cabins than that, so it's fine. Yeah, the detail level here, you can see it. But then again, don't forget, the higher fidelity they put in here, the more resources the aircraft swallows for something where you're not even sitting in. So although it is nice, like in the Zeebo, to have a really good looking cabin, I'm almost never there. So the only thing I do in the cabin is really having an engine view. Okay, this one is now not as nice as it could be due to these fuzzy things here, but then again, what the heck. Yeah, I was actually thinking of even moving forward a little bit. Just have to be careful that we are not getting outside the airplane. Let me save this. Okay. Yeah, I also took me a moment to get this done, and it only works because they have not in other aircraft, especially in payload aircraft, they have this zone around the aircraft where you can't move to, so you wouldn't be able to get under the aircraft. The Magknight doesn't have that, which is okay. I'm fine with that actually, because it allows me to do things like this, kind of a camera at the wheels. Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough impression here in the cockpit. The cockpit for me is important because that is where I'm sitting most of the time. I don't really look at the outside models too much, although I'm a little bit surprised now about the livery thing that I never had with any aircraft. I wonder what that is, but I'll find out. I guess we have to start setting up the aircraft now to get going here. I got a very old checklist. I think this is from 2016, so it's 4 years old from today. And I think it was done for the original, there was this 787 Dreamliner thing that was, yeah, it was a waste of money, I have to say. I got it and I never used it. It's one of these things that you buy because I'm doing videos and things, and then you say, okay. Well, actually, I didn't pay for that old thing because I had some points on the store, and I actually got it for free, so I couldn't really complain too much because at least I haven't lost money. But yeah, it was. But for this aircraft, there is this checklist here, and although it might not work with the automatic stuff in the Magknight, potentially it does, because there's a lot of standard explain in this. They are gradually changing this, so there are some additions, for example the FMC, as we will see, and there may be the odd systems that they have done differently, but overall there's still the genes of standard explain aircraft in there, not like, let's say, flight factor, the Airbus or so, which has nothing to do with the default aircraft in explain. So there's a very good chance that this still works, and for me it's actually just a cue for what do I have to do here. Okay, where do I need to go and where I need to look? And I'm expecting far more of these checklist items to work than probably in this very old VMAX version ever did, I'm guessing. So I just took it, put it in here, and use it for me to be a bit, yeah, to know where should I click. So APU generator switches on, APU started. So the sounds, by the way, and I hope you will hear them. The APU you cannot really hear, at least not in here. I wasn't really able to hear it. You can see there's this outtake, or is that the intake for the APU has opened. It was not opened before. And as you can see now, it did not detect the generator switches, but yeah, the avionics is on, gear down and locked. Yeah, that it also cannot detect. But as I say, this checklist is not really for this aircraft, so I'm fine to have a transponder in standby mode that it was able to detect. All checked and roger. Yeah, so speed brake is fully retracted and the flaps lever is up, and the flap indicator doesn't indicate any flaps, so we're fine. I think we're fine. All checked. Next, then comes the flight plan. So that's now the activities, and that's exactly where we're going to go next, and that is the FMC. So what they've done is they created this FMC around the standard FMC of X-Plane. They extended it by a couple of things, such as this ident page, which looks different and is different to the one that comes with the default FMC. And yeah, again, I was reasonably impressed by it. So this is actually done quite well. Although you don't have all the bells and whistles of a Boeing FMC that you have, let's say, in a flight factor Boeing, okay. But I think it's reasonably okay to just enter your flight plan, get your sits and stars set up and all that. That I'm pretty sure it will do without a problem. By the way, you can switch pages here, so I could switch here to the system page and I get the display. What happens then is, see here, yeah, no, no, that's when I do it on the other side, yeah. By the way, the other side, they're independent, okay? So if I go to systems here, what will happen is select MFD, right? That's interesting. So if I put back now system, because that's for this display, it won't work. So there was something where I was a little bit confused, and it took a moment for me to figure it out again. So now I have to try and remember what did I have to do? Was it in here, or was it? Ah, yeah, it was here. So I wanted the system page. No, I already forgot again. I had it working. Well, anyway, this works. For some reason, I cannot get the systems page up. No, hang on. It was here. No. Yes. There we go. Here you have to click. So there are so many places where you can select the pages, and that's, by the way, in the real aircraft as well. And yeah, sometimes you get a bit confused here. But these are independent FMCs. So, yep, not bad. I'm pretty sure that they're not having independent flight plans yet. Maybe they intended to have that eventually, because, as you will see in a moment, we're talking basic X-plane FMC under the hood with probably some minor extensions and alterations. So, yep, yeah, ident page. I'm not sure what that jump is. I don't know where to jump. So ident page. Now let's go to the route page. Yeah, and yep, this is also modified, but only slightly, I think, because here you have your route menu and your VNAV, and the route menu is, as you can see, is the standard that we have. So you use this keyboard, Echo Delta Delta Mike. By the way, this is the scratch pad. EDDM, flight number is test 1. And now, first waypoint, Arkini. I'm entering the route first. And then you use the next page, and then Ostis. And then Ostis and Bamta. Right, then departure. Departure, you first select the runway, Anchor 9 Quebec. And I always use the exit button with the standard stuff. Departure arrival index page. You go to arrival. Now, don't select the runway first. This is a work here with the standard X-plane FMC. You should select the matching arrival first. So Wapta for Alpha 08 left, ILS 08 left, and then, because otherwise you will get a beep and it will not take it. Okay, so do it in this sequence and it always works. Execute. Then we go on the legs page and we have a quick look through and it doesn't look too bad actually, so that worked out well. And the only other option that you have now is to go on VNAV, and what we're going to do there is, first of all, I'm going to correct the transition altitude because we're in Germany. The climb speed, I'm reducing this to 250. See if that works. Yes, even above 10,000. I'm also reducing the cruise speed, and the cruise altitude I provide here, which is flight level 200. And finally, the descent speed I'm going to set to 250. That does not work. Okay, can't enter it here. Oh yeah, alright, then let's try something else. Let's try and put it in here. No, okay, so I cannot modify that. Flight level 180 is also not correct. Now we're talking. Yeah, and then you see the pages here. That's the init page, that's the route page, that's the departure arrival page, that's the direct to page. If you want to change your flight plan, we might have to do this. Fix, by the way, what you can do here is echo delta delta Mike as a reference point, and then I can provide a distance. So if I put in 10 here, we have a 10 mile. Oh, I just realized I haven't actually aligned, and I did do that in the settings. I want to get ready now here and actually head off, and I'm going to show you the settings menu during the flight so that we don't we don't do it too long now, because we have already half an hour and I would like to get going, and I can show you the settings while we are on the en route part. That should save a little bit of time and shorten the video, I hope. So fix, yeah, I've showed you legs. You've seen there's a holding page, that's all standard. Explain. All right. Thrust limit, yep, because I had a really high takeoff thrust of 101%. It was yellow, but I hadn't actually discovered this here. I'm not sure what this does exactly. Continuous something cruise. So anyway, so for our takeoff, we take a 10% derated and then see if that works. I can't remember that that's part of the default FMC. I don't think it is. So that could be one of these extensions that they have done. Now let's have a look at this display here. Very nice. What you can do here now is you can get rid of some of the unnecessary items. I usually do this. The flight plan, they keep the unfortunately almost unreadable, but that's explained. That's not them. It's a pity, and I hope that they will implement something like we have in the Zibo. I think that is necessary if you have a payware and you are in the $50 range. This is yeah. So that's the plan view. You have your range here. I also have been able to set up my GoFlight hardware. Just forgot to start the GoFlight interface tool. I will do this in a moment. And because this is very much a lot of it is explained standard, it's very easy to actually get your MCP programmed to do things here. So yeah, let's go back into map mode. Right. I wonder why this didn't get green. Shouldn't this switch to green? No. Well, anyway, here's the 10-mile circle, by the way. But that's I think that's something you can do with the default aircraft as well. So I don't think this is added. Right. So we've set ourselves up for that. Now let me quickly show you. We do have to do the performance stuff. So at the moment, blue means you can't use it. Gray means you can use it. So it still wants something to be done before. That means you need to go to terminal charts, and that's a little bit weird. Why do I have to go to terminal charts in order to do the performance? But anyway, click here and then use this keyboard echo delta delta Mike Munich. Click here. We're flying back to Munich. That's sometimes this having the same departure and arrival airport can confuse the odd system. I had with UFMC in old incarnations of it, I had actually problems with that. I wasn't able to define the arrival route from Munich because it was the same airport as the departure airport. It just wouldn't want me to do that. Let's see if that works here. The interesting thing is it says here search departure and nothing happens. I have seen pictures where something pops up here. I'm just not sure what that's supposed to do, but putting in your your airport is important, because now the performance has become available. Echo Delta Delta Mike. The runway is the 08 left. Your condition is dry. The wind is 094. You need to activate the keyboard now. Is 094 with 4 knots. Outside temperature 15. That actually is not, or it shouldn't be correct. It should be 9er. It, yeah. So not sure why I can't enter anything here. We are going with the takeoff 1 setting. We just selected ATM. I don't even know. Well, I can't select it anyway. So we're going to take off with flaps 10, and we are we don't have anti-ice AI. All right. Now let's get to loading. I don't think you can do loading from the menu. Oh no, hang on, you can. No, hang on. That didn't work for me, I think, the last time. So you have to go to weight and balance. That was it. And here you now can set up things. So in the pack zone, that you have up to 280 passengers. Here is your graphics for the center of gravity. So let's assume we have 2 passengers in the front, we have 50 passengers there, and we have 5 passengers. So it's not a big load, and we have, let's say, 1,000 here and 1,000 here. And the fuel, the total fuel that we take, let's say we take 20,000. And the landing fuel probably will be 18,000. I'm not sure why I have to provide this, because yeah, I don't know if that can be done later, but so I put this in here for the moment. I'm not sure if it's required. Then I say complete, and if you hide the keyboard, yeah, we still have something missing, so we need to check. So that's the wind, that's the temperature, takeoff 1. So maybe we have overlooked something here. Yeah, this is actually yellow. Yellow is probably not too good, I would think. Let's see. Taxi, takeoff. 155, 150. Yeah, so we are below the maximas, I would say. That's the landing. The landing is in yellow, but I don't know if that's just. So the OEW is 25%. Let's see. What happens if I put clear. If I put 2,000 in the front, will that make a difference? Yeah, we've moved a little bit. Alright. Or do I have to put something in the bulk here? Okay, let's put in 1 kilo in the bulk. And let's say complete again. Right. 29.1. Was that what we had from the weight and balance? Yes. Possibly that's too. Yeah, 29. Let's see. I can fake it, by the way. So I'm still not overly. Aha. And to be honest, I have no idea what I have to put in here. I need to probably check in the just remember that I wanted to look this up. ATM. assume temperature, possibly 45. Let's try that. Calculate. Oh, hang on. Need to hide the keyboard. Aha. Yeah, that's the assume temperature mode, probably. So, yeah, 62% N1. That somehow doesn't sound right to me. Let's put in 15 and see what it does. Probably because we're going takeoff 1. No. Takeoff 2. No. Oh, hang on. Takeoff calculate. Okay. Well, anyway, we've finally successfully managed to get our V speeds, which I don't know, do I have to enter it anywhere? Let's see. So, can I enter this? What did it say here? It said 84.9. Can I enter this? 84.9. No, I can't. So let's, yeah, this is already selected. So that would be a bit too high, but I can't enter a temperature anywhere. Well, I'm going with takeoff 1. This is all a bit, I'm still not 100% clear with everything that's in here, but I think we have our setting now, and yeah, that's about it. There isn't really much more you can do. At least I haven't found anything. Here's the VNAV. That's the progress page. That's the navrat page. 109.5 has the ILS. The course is already in there. I've done that before, so it remembers that. And so I think we are through. So let's turn on the navigation lights. The fuel is, well, is checked, but let's quickly compare this. So our fuel is about 20,000 pounds. Okay, that looks good. All checked and roger. Engine startup. Fasten seatbelt signs. Alright. Verify fuel quantity. Yeah, elevator trim set for takeoff. To be honest, I wouldn't even know what to put it at. Let's go to that. Does it or status page? Where is that thingy? Yeah, let's, by the way, while we're at it, can I get them closed again, or do we have to fly with the zip open here? Hello? So how do I close those doors? How does that work? Right click? Right click. Interesting. Nice. Nice. Okay, so doors are closed, throttles is in idle position, engine area is clear, the beacon light we turn on now, and that should also remove. No, it doesn't. Why doesn't it? What do I need to do to remove those thingies? I need to go call up Sam and do it manually. Although we are in auto mode, I thought that it should detect this, but So can we please okay, now it has put them away. So sometimes SAM isn't, I don't know. I have difficulties like that repeatedly, yeah. Not sure why that is and what I'm doing wrong. So let's go back to the main menu and let's go to the ground services, and then let's go to the plan pushback. And since we want to go on the northern runway, let's zoom in a bit. I can see the line here. Alright. Und
Boden an Brücke. Der Plan ist eingereicht. Bitte rufen Sie mich über das Menü, wenn Sie bereit sind.
in the meantime, I'm turning on the flight directors and I'm going to, I think what was V2 again? Main menu, performance. Let's quickly check. Is 142 and the stabilizer trim 4.75. 142. And 080, and we're going to climb to flight level 200. Right. FPV doesn't work, meters does. And by the way, you need to check. They have flight path angle and vertical speed, and I was actually in flight path angle, so I'm not sure if it remembers now that I want vertical speed. Oh yeah, and by the way, what you can also do is you can provide so if you go here and you go to aircraft setup, then you can enter these airline IDs, tail numbers, ICAO ID, CellCal code here, and they are going to be used, for example, here for this display. You can see the currently selected frequency for COM1. Yeah, the transponder is 2200, so this is kind of a status display, and this seems to be a clock, which actually ticks when you turn it on. Okay. So what about our pushback? Oh, that was just a plan. We had the plan, but we haven't actually executed it. Ground services. Yeah, you need to click here. That had taken me a moment.
Der Schlepper bringt sich in Position.